Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day, and today we're going to be going over my NFL Week 12 power rankings as NFL Week 12 begins tomorrow with Thanksgiving, 3 games. Wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving, even though it's only Wednesday, the day before. And then so you have 3 games on Thanksgiving. You have the first Black Friday game on Friday. Not often you see NFL games being played on Friday. I mean, I think there might have been one game on a Friday during the COVID season in 2020, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then you have, obviously, Sunday Night Football, and you have Monday Night Football, which is Sunday Night Football is the Ravens and the Chargers, and then Monday Night Football is the Bears and the Vikings, which I can 100% say I'm not too excited about that Bears and Vikings game, but it's going to be a good week of football in Week 12, but let's go over my power rankings going into Week 12, and we'll be talking a little bit about what happened in Week 11. So starting off with number 32, as we're going to be going from 32 to 1. The worst team in the NFL at 32, I have the Carolina Panthers. Last week I had them at 32. Even though this team had the bye, I still have them going down. I have the Patriots at 31. Last week I had them at 30. They had the bye in Week 11, but they faced the Giants this week. At 30, I have a team who just lost to the Texans 21-16. The Arizona Cardinals, previously 29 last week. At 29, I have the Bears. They just blew a 26-14 lead with 4 minutes left in the game, which is crazy. I think they were up 26-14 with like 2 minutes and 59 seconds remaining. And so I got the Bears at 29, previously 28. I have the New York Giants at 28, previously at 31. They had a great week this week, beating the Commanders. I can't remember what the final score was, but Tommy DeVito threw 3 touchdown passes. It was a great performance for the New York Giants. At 27, I had the Tennessee Titans, previously 25. The Titans lost by 20 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 34-14. Another team who lost badly to the Giants. At 26, I have the Commanders, who last week I had it at 23. At 25, I have the team that is playing in the first Black Friday game, the New York Jets, at 22. Or at 25, but last week we were at 22. Then, even though this team had the bye, I have them staying at the same spot at 24. I have the Atlanta Falcons. Last week they were at 24. Taking a big fall, I have at 23 the Los Angeles Chargers. Previously, last week we're at 17. Taking a pretty good jump at 22, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Last week they were at 27. At 21, I have a team that just beat the Rams a couple weeks ago, the Green Bay Packers, who have won 3 straight? No, it's not 3 straight games, but they've won like 3 of their last 4 games, something like that, I believe. But the Packers are playing good football right now, and last week I had them at 26. And then even though they lost by, I think it was, the final score was like 27-14. Even though they were on the road and only lost by 13 to the 49ers. I have them staying at the same spot. At 20, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, previously at 20. At 19, I have the Raiders, previously at 16 last week. I mean, yeah, they competed with the Dolphins, only lost by 7. I think that is a good performance, but there's just some teams I thought that should go over them. At 18, I have the Colts, who didn't even play this week. They had the bye, where they just played in Germany against the Patriots a couple weeks ago. But I have the Colts at 21, or the Colts last week were at 21. And then at 17, I have a team that beat the Colts a couple weeks ago. At 17, I have the New Orleans Saints, who last week I had at 18. The Saints had the bye as well. At 16, I have the Bengals, previously 11. It's not necessarily the loss I am thinking about when taking the Bengals down in the power rankings. It is necessarily that Joe Burrow is out for the season. At 15, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Last week had them at 14. It was a close game with the Broncos, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't hurt them too much in the rankings. At 14, I have the Broncos. Last week had them at 19. The Broncos have won 4 straight games against the Packers, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Vikings, and they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Them and the Houston Texans, and you got a couple other teams up there who are playing great football right now. But man, are the Broncos playing some great football, and I think they got another chance to get a good win this week to go over 500 against the Cleveland Browns, which could be a very hard win. But they're at home in their territory, so that should be I think it should be a win for them. But we'll see what happens. 13, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers. Previously had them at 13. I mean, only reason there's a couple reasons why I didn't move the Steelers at all and kept them at the same place. I know it was a terrible offensive performance, but on one point they lost to the Browns, who are a really good team, and it was on the road, so that's one thing. And then another thing is that the Steelers have fired Matt Canada, so I have hope. At 12, I have the Seattle Seahawks, previously at 12, so they stay at the same spot. At 11, I have the Buffalo Bills, previously at 15. At 10, the top 10, it's not much movement. At 10, I have the Jaguars. Last week we were at 10. At 9, I have the Texans. Last week we were at 9. At 8, I have the Browns. Last week we were at 8. At 7, I have the Dolphins. Last week we're at 6. At 6, I have the Cowboys. Last week we're at 7. At 5, I have the 49ers. They stay at the same spot. Last week they were at 5. At 4, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, who just lost to the Eagles. Last week I had them at 2. At 3, I have the Ravens, best team in the AFC right now. Last week I had them at 4. At 2, I have the Lions, comeback win. They're 8-2. I think they're 8-2 or 7-3, something like that. But I have the Lions. I think they're 8-2. I have the Lions at 2, and previously last week had them at 3. And then at 1, claiming the number 1 spot, which is I've had them at number 1 the last 2 weeks. I have the Eagles at number 1. Last week they were at 1 for the first time in a while. So yeah, that's for my NFL power rankings. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the power rankings in the comment section, and peace out.